Alright, so this is a story about how I bought pre-rolls while robotripping at school. So at the time, I went to a private school in Canada, and it was a pretty small private school, and everybody knew each other, basically. Um, and at lunch, most people, like my friend group, we would leave campus, and usually we would walk to this nearby university. Um, we would usually sit in their cafeteria, and there was like a Tim Hortons inside, so everybody went there. Um, and on this fateful day, I started robo tripping. I took like these like off-brand Costco pills, and they had acetaminophen. Bad idea, never do that. And I think I probably had like 200 milligrams. So probably a high first plateau, maybe a low second plateau. So I wasn't completely gone. Like I wasn't like witnessing the universe become created and then destroyed. But I wasn't sober. Like this wasn't me. This wasn't me. Um, like that DXM feeling where your body feels a little delayed and then your brain is trying to process everything and it's like mismatched. That's kind of how I feel. Like my body and mind aren't in sync. Um, and I was with my friends Ryan and Brent, and we didn't go to the university. We actually went to the Sobeys, um, and it was about a kilometer away from the school. And a kilometer is like maybe I think it's like a little less than a mile, so something like that. And then we started walking to the Sobeys, okay, and it's a kilometer away from the school. So we're walking, we're having a good time, and I'm robo tripping, bro. I start seeing some bullshit, man. All right, and then when we finally get to the Sobeys, I go in, and I'm not proud of it now, but I go in, grab the triple C's, put them in the bag, walk out. What can I say? Everybody's done it. Everybody who trips on DXM doesn't pay for it. Unless you're getting robo-tabs, you don't pay for it. Um, anyways. So, um, this Sobeys, it has like a little eating area where like people can eat their food that they buy at Sobeys, and surprisingly, there were a couple people there. Um, and this is kind of like a sketchy area. Um, Not a lot of economic activity. Um, and my friends, they're eating their food, and we're just eating. We're having a good time. Making jokes. I'm still tripping, so I'm not. I'm probably not really talking that much now that I think about it. Um, and both of these guys, they were like on like testosterone, tren. They were blasting peptides, bro. So they low-key got angry whenever I spoke. Little roid rage. Um, I might talk about their story later in another day, but and I asked my friend Ryan. I asked him what the time is, and he shows me his phone, and it's 12:10. My class starts at 12:15. Brent has a free on his third period. So, second period, we do our class, and then there's lunch, and then there's third period, right? Everybody knows that. Um, Brent has this free at third period. I have my free fourth period. So, I gotta go to class. I have computer programming class, and the teacher low-key doesn't know how to teach computer programming. So it's basically a free class, but he's kind of strict. He just lets us play games, but like, if we don't show up or we're late, like, he'll get a little angry. Um, so we do the. So I start booking it, bro. I got 5 minutes. I start booking it to this class. And we're a kilometer away. So I just start running. And I didn't take the usual route that we take. I just start running in the direction of the school. And it's a city, it's in a grid pattern. I was gonna make it, but I start running and I feel like the people, they're looking at me strange. Do they know I'm tripping, bro? Probably not. Probably not. But it was the DXM talking. Um, So I'm running, and eventually I get to the school. Eventually I do. And I walk in, and we have to use these iPads to, like, log in and say that we arrived. And I look at the time on these iPads, and it says 12:17. My class started 2 minutes ago, man. I gotta get there. This guy's real strict. Not with, like, the actual work, but, like, the other stuff, I guess. So I'm in class and I'm on Snapchat and I'm texting this guy. His name's Benjamin. Let's just call him Benjamin. And his dad's like the chief of the police, like something like that. He's got a big position at the police, bro. Not even like the like regional police, like the international police we have here in Canada called the RCMP. So he's like a big guy at the national police. Um, I don't know if they have anything like that in America. I don't think so. Um, so I'm texting this guy and I ask him to meet me at the university and I tell him to come like right now and it's like 1:20, 1:30. So and my class ends at 1:45. So I tell him to go right there. I and he's like making a bit of a fuss, dude. He's like, man, this university's so far from me, this and that, whining and binding, bro. I don't care. Go there. I want these pre-rolls, man. I want to smoke that shit. Um, and eventually he gets there, but my class hasn't ended yet. He's there at like 1:40, and I tell him to just wait. Um, and by the time my class ends, I pack up all my stuff and I just run. I start booking it, and it had started raining. So, and I didn't have a jacket, bro. Um, so this university it's a really short walk. So I just go there. I walk there, and this guy he's on his Suron. I can't even see his face, dude. He's got like a motorcycle helmet on and shit, bro. Um, so I just start talking to him like, "Yo, Bennett, that's you, Benjamin, bro? You the guy? You my plug?" And yeah, he's like, "Yeah, that's me, bro." And he said he had 6 pre-rolls for $20. And he takes a bag out and there's 2 pre-rolls in there, bro. 2. And I hand him the $20 and I'm like, "Yo, when's the other 4 pre-rolls coming?" And he's like, "Oh, I left those at my mom's house. I didn't know his parents were separated or something like that, but I guess they are." And he says I left my 4 pre-rolls at my mom's house. I only got these 2, but I'll give the other pre-rolls to you later. Never happened, by the way. Never ever happened. And I just take the fucking pre-rolls and I go back to class. I go back to school. And I low-key want to smoke that shit, bro. I kind of want to smoke it. So I actually leave the school and I go back to the university. We met outside the university, but I go inside the university into the cafeteria that we usually eat in. Um, but nobody was there, and it was kind of weird. I went to the all gender washroom, and like how like bathrooms like there's like stalls that lock. I don't know if they have all gender washrooms in the U.S. They probably don't, but stalls they lock. But in this washroom, like the entrance door also locked, so I locked that shit. It kind of makes sense because there's only one stall in this washroom, but there's also no girls' washroom. I don't know. I've never thought about that. Like there's a boys' washroom, men's washroom, and then there's an all gender washroom, and there's no women's washroom. What's up with that? Inclusive, I guess. Um, really good for me though. I like smoking weed in there. So I pull the bag out, I get my lighter out, and I light that shit, and I take a puff, nothing. It did not light, bro. So I put it back on the flame, rotate a little. This was my first time smoking flower. I usually only hit the carts or the edibles. So this was my first time. So don't make fun of me in the comments. But if you do, you should. You actually should comment to make fun of me. But anyway, I take one puff and I blow that shit out, and it reeks of weed, bro. And I don't know if it's the weed. I don't think it is. But I start getting this wave of like panic and like anxiety because like, oh shit, bro, I smell like weed. Will I keep smelling like weed? Is the whole washroom gonna smell like weed, bro? Are my clothes gonna smell like weed? Oh no. So I put it out, and I don't really know how to put it out. I just like put it in the bag. But then the plastic starts burning. So I like press it against the wall, and that makes it go out. And then I put it back in the bag. And I had actually bought more bags. I was planning on meeting him today, so I had more bags, 2 more bags. So I put the pre-rolls are in the bag, and then I put that in another bag, and then another bag. And then I put that in my backpack. And it was like at like the top of my backpack, because I didn't want it to get crushed by my binder or something. It probably wouldn't have, because there's like air in the bag that's protecting it. That's low-key a good idea, bro. Putting air in the bag. That was so smart of me. Anyways, I start walking back to school, and I'm still robo-tripping, and I'm a little faded. I'm a little buzzed. And my bag kind of smells like weed, but I didn't know that at the time. And I go inside, and there's like my homegirl, and I see her, and I've known her for like damn near a decade at this point. So I go and I start talking to her, and I tell her like, oh, it would be a great idea if I like started a restaurant that like only sold apples, like seasonal apples. Wouldn't that be like really good? It was like, it might actually be a good idea now that I think about it. She's like, dude, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't really remember what else I did with her, but eventually I had to go. And my brother picked me up, right? And in the car, I realized my bag smells like weed. So I put it like on the side. I'm in the back of the car, and I put it on the side, the bag, and it's on like the floor. Maybe I'll put up a picture or something. Then I just went home. Oh no, I go to Tim Hortons, local Canadian chain, national Canadian chain. Eat some potato wedges. Then I go home.